Oh yes, boys, yes, we are back again, and we are doing High on Fire, Electric Messiah. And yeah, I'm actually pretty decently excited about this album. I've heard it's solid as every one of their albums are. And you know, I just love the drumming with this band. I love the vocals as well. They're so sort of husky and just straining, and it just suits the fucking instrumental makeup perfectly. I am just keen as fuck, and I am ready. Let's just go, boys. Wow! I just love the riffs so far on this one, man. The riffs are fucking killing it. This is like some fucking shit, man. Come on, man. See those drums there? Like, just that little feel. Fuck me, the feels with this band. Oh, the drums! This is exactly what I love about High on Fire. This is one of their best components, when the drums just pound away underneath some fucking vocals like this and some burning fucking guitar lead, like just distorted as fuck. Love the vocals there. Love how the drums and the guitar here are complementing each other with that riff and just the fills. Yeah. What a transition, boys. I love how this is building as well. You see, I like how they have these cleaner, more melodic guitar leads at certain points of songs, just to act as a counterpoint to the more distorted, bloody, gurgling fucking guitar riffs, you know? Fuck me, this tempo. See why this is a title track, boys. Come on, man. What can I say about that? Like, that just fucking slayed with that tempo. Just the entire song, you know, it almost felt like a some fresh air in the album as well, just with how fast it was, you know. But tell you what, this little passage here, I know I needed that right after that song, man. Oh, that riff in the backbone. Oh, this is immaculate, man. Holy fuck. Even this throttling riff here. Come on! Oh, these ride hits just get me so hard. I love the pairing of the guitar leads and the drum solo. Fucking work, you absolute seismic whore. Come on, man. I don't know, man. This is actually just fucking superb. Just when I thought the drums couldn't get any better, they somehow fucking do with the ride cymbal beat in that song. Even just the stuttering guitar riff and drum beat, that was immaculate as well. Again, another sick fucking beat, man. They always finish up these songs with like a little melodic solo. I just noticed that, hey. Yeah, again, like they fucking just finish every song up with a melodic lead, you know, just like a cheeky little solo. Ah, it's nice, man. Again, man, what can I say? The fucking drums, like, just the rhythmic pounding, man, I just... Another nice melodic lead number. Come on, boys. These guys. Wow. Another fast intro. Yes! Another right hit fucking beat, man. Come on. Yeah! The beats are so sick on this record, man. Oh! Oh, man. Woo! Oh! Ah, okay. What the fuck was that thing, man? Ah, yes, the buzz. Yeah. Yeah. What? What? Come on, man. That's actually probably my favorite track on the album. Even with those two 10-minute epics, with the tempo changes, the transitioning, the fucking screams, the ride cymbal beat, some of the riffs, that fucking solo in the back end. What is this riff, man? Dude, this album is actually taking me back, like, this is insane. This is so much like a Akira, man. Nice bass, actually, hey. You can actually hear the bass here really well. Come on, man, this little riff. The drums here sound like static, man. With the hi-hat hits. These last 5 songs, boys, they have all been perfect. Oh, the bass there. That little switch though. Just burning my ears, distortion, man. Just fucking burn. I'm actually taken aback by just how much I absolutely adored this shit, boys. I suppose, as ever with High on Fire, the instrumental makeup and balance of the mix is just faultless. All of the textures just complement each other here to no end. I mean, the soundscapes are just fully realized forays into southern sludgy stoner metal with every burning, distorted lead riff and drum fill. And the textures of these lead guitars are just gorgeous at every point. They just smolder with that thickness and the most delicious, mutilated, distorted riffs, boys. And then there are the cleaner, brighter leads, most especially in the sprawling solos that feature on most songs here, which act as a perfect counterpoint and are always wedged in so tastefully. The bass deserves to be mentioned as well, of course. It's just an instrument which gives this album so much more weight and body. The drumming, though, as you probably can tell, is my favorite individual component of this record, which is saying something given just how much I adore everything else. Is it all encompassing and punchy, but also creative. Well, yes, boys, yes, we are back, and the camera did die, of course. That generally happens with these longer albums, especially. Not much I can do about that. I mean, it's fully charged every time I try to do one, but yeah, there you go. Just don't have quite enough battery, but too easy. We'll just finish up the review right now. It's that fucking simple. Just enjoy the fucking different angle of me room, mate. Look at that. We've got a fucking, yeah, UK, mate. And the reason why I do love the drumming so much is not only is it all-encompassing and punchy, but also creative and immense, especially in breaks of the guitar riffs or transition lead-ins, or even just the passages where they are used as a main focal point. Take half of the 10-minute track, Steps of the Ziggurat. The reoccurring pounding marching rhythm of the drums here, most especially in the first couple minutes, and how the whole track builds and transitions back to that passage with extra layers, boys. I mean, God, yes, fuck yeah. And admittedly, I was skeptical about some of these 10-minute song lengths going into this album and how exactly High on Fire would execute them without having some passages feeling redundant or overbearing. But damn, they only proved just how fucking experienced and well worked their craft is at this point of their career, when the longest songs here are just fucking absolute fucking Mount Kilimanjaro peaks. Most especially when individual elements like the drums just ooze sheer quality, man. Take Sanctioned Annihilation, another 10-minute epic. I mean, this one is arguably even better than Steps of Ziggurat, with its stuttering bloody guitar riff and drum beat and how they are just sort of juxtaposed together in a perfect complementing way. And not to mention that bloody ride cymbal beat. My god, that is probably one of my favorites on the album and just in general from this band. And also, there are some absolutely delectable bluesy riffs poking themselves into the song here and there, and yeah, just like the way the band has polished their sound at this point of their career. I mean, I don't know exactly how they could improve on their songwriting. I guess you could say the melodic, sprawling guitar solos at the end of pretty much every song gets predictable, but individually, every one of those guitar passages feel very necessary and adds just another dimension to that smoky, mucky complexion of the sound here. Also, something has to be said in the way in which they transitioned between the bloody mid-tempos of this 10-minute song, most especially in the beginning, and the self-titled track that came before, Electric Messiah. Because yeah, that song Electric Messiah took me back by just how insanely fast the tempo is. I mean, it is just straight up throttling fucking power metal. And they do show more of this power metal-esque tempo variation on the Pallid Mask and Freebooter most especially. And honestly, these momentum changes, I think it gives this album some more dynamics to their sound. A breath of fresh air, if you will, which is slightly ironic in saying, just given how suffocating that speed can be. But they don't overuse it, you know? It's only here and there, you know, just little tits and bits. But yeah, I just have to emphasize and reinstate at this point just how much I love the rhythmic pounding drums. They just steal the show on every track, and the way they are produced just makes it all the more enjoyable. Every cymbal hit is so clear and crisp, no matter how much bass or distortion color the burbling guitars all the while. And every single rolling fill is perfectly audible and executed with fucking creativity and imagination, man. I could just listen to it all day. And even though it's not quite on the same technical level as some crazy ass fucking gent or what have you, the performance on this album is one of my favorites I've ever heard, especially with those fucking ride cymbal hits, boys. I mean, or even say the imagination showed like on the hi-hat beat at the start of the closer, Drowning Dog. A song which features, by the way, some of the most delicious bass and muffled guitars on the album, which are all very reminiscent of Sleep, as the track just bumbles on in the surfer-like upbeat cadence and momentum. Might as well bring up the vocals as well, because they are stellar as well, just as husky and complimenting of the music as they have always been. So yeah, I can't think of too many individual moments where the vocals blew me away, but there was one on Freebooter where he uses these absolutely filthy, strained, pained shouts to bridge two transitions together, two passages, and it's just fucking brilliant, man. Of course, with the vocals, they have this sort of parody, sort of husky inflection, right? And as a standalone quality, you know, I don't think it's particularly amazing, but what can you expect? I mean, it's bloody stoner metal at the end of the day, and I still think that this is one of the better examples of vocals done right in terms of metal and in terms of complementing the soundscape. Honestly, though, I could not keep up with every individual element I loved on this record. This album is just a full hour long, and the fact that I wasn't bored at the end just shows to me just how loaded this album is in quality. And I think, honestly, it's just down to the sheer quality of each individual riff, vocal and drum passage, because they barely even change the mechanics or constants of their sound from song to song, barring maybe some tempo switches. And still, the album did not get boring at all, man. Like, just not at all. The back end as well is arguably even stronger than the front, with God of the Godless, Freebooter, and The Witch and the Christ, and Drowning Dog all leading into one another. Like, that's just superb, man. That's just gorgeous. So yeah, look, in finishing, I think the fact that the album finishes on those last three songs, I mean, that just won me over completely. And that's not to say that there is a lull in the track listing at this point. I mean, looking back, I pretty much just outright loved every song, and there's always something to dig my ears into in each, and the sheer consistency in riffing and drum work just elevates this to an upper echelon of fucking stoner metal for my money. Usually I would say something at this point about maybe there should have been a break in noise, a couple quieter moments, or ambient passages, but I kind of just love how this is just a wall of sound, boys. So what would I give this, boys? A 4.4 out of 5, boys. A 4.4 out of 5. Wow! I mean, I can't really say anything I disliked about this record. But yeah, I suppose in trying to be a bit more objective, you know, the vocals, you know, they could have done with some more impassioned screams, maybe. And maybe just a bit of switching in the mechanics of their sound could have worked, you know, I suppose. But nah, just fucking love this, boys. Just fucking love this. So yeah, boys, I'll just fucking catch you in the next one. I am absolutely fucking exhausted. But if you want to fucking help support me and bloody whatever, I've got a book, The Menagerie. bloody inspired by Don Quixote, Dostoevsky, Shakespeare, that kind of shit. If you want to support me, you can buy that on paperback or on Kindle. If you buy it on paperback, you get the Kindle version for free. And I appreciate every sale and review. It really helps me. And yeah, just too easy, boys. Too easy. I'll just catch you in the next one, okay? Wow! Wow!